Today we're going to create a Jen Stark inspired design. I'm going to start a new canvas by pressing the plus button. I'm going to create a custom canvas, so I'm going to press the plus here. Here are my measurements. Right now I'm on pixels, but I want it to be on inches. I'm going to change the width to 11 inches, and the height is going to be 8.5 inches. Whoop, let's back that up. Tap here. 8.5 inches. Okay, then color profile is going to be display P3, which looks best on Apple products. Click create. Now on my brushes, I'm going to try out this script brush to make my drips, but sometimes that's a little bit too wobbly for me. So 2-finger tap is going to undo what I just did. I am going to create a new brush. So I'm going to slide this one, and I'm going to press duplicate. Now I have script brush number 2. So I have the original, and then I have number 2, which is indicated with this little swirl right here. I'm going to tap on that, and then I'm going to go over to stabilization. And on my streamline, I don't want it to be quite as thick and thin when I change the pressure, so I'm going to adjust that and test that out. I like that, and I'm going to move the stabilization up quite a bit too. Let's try 40% or so, and let's see if I'm wobbly. You know, that actually gets rid of my wobbles. Let's try if I'm at 48%. Oh, that's nice and smooth. Let's see, about 50%. If I'm trying to be wobbly. Okay, so 50% is going to work for me, but you might want to adjust it so it's more stabilized. I'm going to use my 2 fingers to pinch in, and then I'm going to start drawing off the page, and I'm going to create my first drips. Okay, next step, I'm going to come in and I'm going to follow along, right along in here. To move my paper, I'm just going to use 2 fingers, and then I can rearrange the paper as I want. So I'm going to get right in here, and then I'm going to draw right along and follow along those drips. Now, if I went too fast and I touched, that is going to cause a little bit of a hassle later. So I'm going to do a 2-finger touch, and I'm going to redraw that again. There we go. And my third one, I am just following along, carefully mimicking what is above it or what is below it. And each time I start a new line, I want to make sure that I started off the page, and then let me redo that one because those are touching, and then I want to finish off the page. That way it's going to hold in my colors. Okay, so now the fun part is I'm going to go up to the color wheel, and I'm going to choose a new color. I'm going to start with this magenta color. So I can choose my color here, and then I can decide how bright, how light, dark, or bright I want it, how saturated I want it. Now I'm going to take this paint, and I'm going to drag it right over, and I'm going to drop it in. Now, if that happens, that's because I have not gone all the way off the page. So let's take a look here and see. It's perhaps right here. So I'm going to long press there. Oh, let's go back here, get that black. And I'm going to just double check and make sure that that goes all the way off the page. Make sure on that side that looks good. I'm going to go back to my magenta here. I'm going to bring that over. I'm going to drop that in. Okay, so it's still filling in 2 different paint areas, and I do not want that. So I'm going to do 2-finger tap. And then here's a little trick. You can drag and drop it in, and then you can drag down the threshold, up the threshold and down the threshold. If you take a look up here, that's how aggressive you could say the paint is. So I'm going to bring that threshold down. That could have been the problem the whole time. Okay, let's choose a new color. I think I will go with maybe like something like that. And I'm going to take my little paint and I'm just going to drag it right in there. That time it worked great. I'm going to choose maybe right here. Well, let's see, maybe like this yellow. Drag that right over. Drag my next color. Okay, so that also filled in too much. So I'm going to do 2-finger tap. I'm going to bring that over, drop it in, and I'm going to bring down the threshold. And then as I do, it's not as aggressive. Grab my next color, and I think I'll swirl right around to this aqua tone, cyan. Drop that in, and then go with this kind of a blue. Drag that in. Now you notice it only filled here, so I'm going to tap on continue filling, and then I'm going to just tap and it's going to fill, and I'm going to tap and it's going to fill, and tap right in there and it fills. Great. Okay, so I'm going to tap again right there on the paintbrush. Looking pretty good so far. Now I'm going to go up to my layers panel and I'm going to create a new layer right here. I'm going to take that layer and I'm going to long press on it and drag it right below layer number 1. So now it's below it. I'm going to change out my color, get that black color again. And then I'm going to do my next drip. I'm going to start off the page and come all the way down here. And I think I like that. I think I might even want to go down a little bit lower. So I'm going to go right down here. Okay, it's touching there, so I'm going to undo that one. Bring that around. I'm going to go a little bit slower and be a little bit more careful. Okay, I like that drip. I'm going to do one more that's right outside. There we go. And around this way. Notice how the lines are being hidden underneath the color one, because this layer is underneath the colored layer, which is kind of nice about the digital art. And on the iPad, you can make different layers. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to leave this one black and white. I think then I will drag this black in, drop it right in here, drag this black in. Looking good so far. Need to come around here, drag that in. There's one little piece missing there. Drag that right in there. Okay, I like that. Now we're going to go up. We're going to create another layer, and we're going to drag that right underneath all of the other layers. Okay, I'm going to have my black script, my adjusted script pen there, and let's go with all the way down like this, up. Okay, that one, you know what? We got to go back to this layer and we got to get white paint. We forgot the white paint. We're going to go back in and drag and drop in white paint right in there. That's going to be hard to see unless you could change the background color so that it pops out more and you can see what's going on. Grab that white paint, drag that in. Okay, I think that looks good. All right, we're going to go back to that layer number 3 and black paint. And here we go, off the screen, around. Okay, I like that. Off the page, and we're gonna just mirror our other drip right along. Off the page. Got to start off the page and end off the page. Off the page. Off the page. Now I can just go really quickly here and off the page because we're not going to be able to see that. Okay, now back to our colors, and so on until you have 5 drips, 5 areas of drip. So I would say this is one area, this black and white is another area, then the color that I'm going to be putting in here is going to be like a whole nother drip. I can press continue filling and come in like this, go back to the next color. I'm going to choose this orange, and let's drag that right in there. That looks good. So this is the third area that I'm doing, and you need to do 5 areas until you're all done. Okay, now I'm on my 4th drip pattern, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding in my white, okay? And I'm going to drag this in, and then I'm going to click on continue filling, and then I'm going to tap, 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 and it goes by very quickly. So for my last one, I'm going to click on the plus in the layers. I'm going to drag that underneath all of the other ones, long press, and bring it right underneath the bottom layer there. And switch back to my black color. And then I'm going to put in my last drips here. And I'm going to start off the page and then come right around. I'm not really liking how that's going, so I'm going to double tap off the page, come back in, and then create my drip exactly how I like off the page. And then I think I want to go down a little bit farther. Oop, I didn't start off the page, so I got to go off the page and come around. Oh, you know what? I kind of like this, how the pink is coming out from underneath. So this is, I think this is going to look really good. Off the page. Starting off the page all the time. Oh, I messed up. 2-finger tap. Okay, now going over to my colors. I'm going to use my history colors so that they're the same. Boom. Get my orange, drag that down. Get my yellow, drag that. Get my kind of greenish cyan looking color. I think I want to add in a little bit more cyan here. Okay, and I'm really liking that. Okay, so now I am all done. I am going to go right up here to my wrench, and then I'm going to go to share, and then I'm going to tap on PNG, and I am going to save my image. I'm going to allow that. Also, I think that I would like to have one without this background color, and it doesn't look great now, but I'll be able to like add it to other designs. So I'm going to click on the wrench, and I'm going to click share and PNG again. I'm going to have 2 different versions, save image. Then I can go to my camera roll, and I can check and see which this one has the gray background, and that one, it has like a transparent background. I love it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Google Classroom, and I am going to attach that file.